If you get them all, you get the surprise. Go.
Green, red, yellow.
You got one correct.
One correct. These two?
You got zero correct.
Zero correct.
You got one correct.
These two.
You got them all correct.
Okay. Blue, yellow, black, purple, red.
You got zero correct.
Zero correct. These two.
You got one correct.
One correct. These two.
You got two correct.
Two correct. These two.
You got three correct.
Three correct. These two.
You got them all correct.
Let's go. Okay. Blue, green, yellow.
You got zero correct.
Zero correct. Let's switch to these two.
You got one correct.
One correct. These two.
You got them all correct.
Let's go.
Take a look. Take a look.
Oh,
Now look inside.
I got an ornament.
Now look at the bottom of the ornament.
The bottom? I got a penny.
Red, yellow, and green.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have three correct.
Woohoo! Purple, red, yellow, blue, black.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have two correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have two correct.
Switch this and that.
You have three correct.
Three correct. Okay, switch this and that.
You have two correct.
Boom.
You have one correct. You have two correct.
Okay.
You have one correct. You have one correct.
Okay, like that.
You have zero correct.
And now,
You have one correct.
like that.
You have zero correct.
What?
You have one correct.
Black's right.
You have three correct.
Three correct. This, and switch these two.
You got them all.
Woohoo. Green, yellow, and blue.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two
You have one correct.
and that.
You have zero correct.
What?
You have one correct.
Okay.
You got them all.
Splendid.
Green cup, purple cup, blue cup.
You got zero correct.
Zero correct. Let's switch to these two.
You got zero correct.
Zero correct. These two.
You got one correct.
One correct. These two.
You got one correct.
One correct. Okay, green is correct. Let's switch blue with yellow.
You got one correct.
One correct. Let's put yellow here maybe.
You got two correct.
Two correct. Yellow is correct. These two.
You got two correct.
Two correct. Let's actually put red there.
You still have two correct.
Two correct. Black is supposed to be there. There we go.
You got all three correct.
Okay. Next level. Red, purple, and blue.
You got four correct.
Four correct. Okay, let's switch to these two.
You have three correct.
Three correct. Okay. Let's switch. Let's put these there. This one here.
You still have three correct.
Three correct. Okay. Let's do that again.
You got them all correct.
Let's go.
Purple, blue, yellow.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two
You have zero correct.
and switch these two.
You have two correct.
Two correct. I'm assuming those two are correct. Switch with this one.
You have three correct.
Awesome. So this row is done. Blue, green, red.
You have three correct.
Switch these two.
You have four correct.
Switch this and this.
You have three correct.
Okay. Switch this and this.
You have four correct.
Switch this and that.
You have three correct.
Interesting. Switch this and this.
You have four correct.
And now I'm going to switch this with that.
You have four correct.
Like that.
You got them all.
Blue cup, black cup, red cup, yellow cup, green cup.
So one correct.
One correct. Okay. These two.
Three correct.
Three correct. Okay. These two.
You got them all correct.
Let's go.
Yellow, green, blue, red, and black.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have zero correct.
Black is
You
right.
have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have three correct.
Woo! I like that.
You got them all.
Woohoo! Yellow, red, blue, green, black.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have zero correct.
Switch these two.
You have one correct.
Switch these two.
You have zero correct.
Okay, so black is correct.
You have one correct.
These two.
You have two correct.
These two.
You have one correct.
These two.
You have two correct.
So yellow's correct. Switch these two.
You have three correct.
Okay, switch these two.
You got them all.
Alright, this cup, this cup, this cup, this cup, this cup.
Two correct.
Two correct. Let's switch to these two.
One correct.
One correct. Okay, one of these is correct. Let's switch to these two.
One correct.
One correct. Okay. What's it now?
Two correct.
Two correct. These two are correct. Let's switch to these two.
One correct.
One correct. Okay, now?
Two correct.
Two correct. Okay. This one is correct. Let's switch these two.
Three correct.
Three correct. Okay, let's switch these two.
You got them all!
No way!